we may have a new favorite on our hands. What's up, beasties? It's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. I am so glad you're here. I hope you had a fantastic Monday and a great start to your week. We are here to do my weekly wrap up for last week, the week of June 16th. We're going to talk about what I've been reading, what I thought about those reads. Then we're going to talk about what I've been watching, anything else I might have done, some videos I've done on the channel, and then we're going to talk about the week to come, what I'm going to be reading the rest of this week, and what kind of videos you can keep an eye out for. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're going to start off with, what have I been reading? So, as always, we're going to start with my weekly book that I read every week. And I didn't finish this. There's a couple things I didn't finish. It was just one of those weeks, just very busy. Didn't have as much time to read as I hoped, so I went for quicker reads with my graphic novels and mangas. But I did start my book for the week, and I did start my novella for the week, and I did get a good ways into both of them. And I'm enjoying both of them. But anyway, so we'll talk about that in a second. But just one of those weeks, guys, where when I did have time to read, it was late at night, and I'm old and I fell asleep in my reading chair, just like I'm 95 years old. But anyway, so my first weekly book that I have been reading, and I'm about, probably, how many pages is this? 25 to 30% of the way through, and that is How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. And this is what I was talking about in the intro, that we might have a new favorite on our hands, because this book is fire. It is so good. So our main character is Davi, and she is hilarious. It breaks the fourth wall, very Deadpool-esque. But really, like, I'll just tell you how it all starts off. It's not really spoilers because this all happens really quick. But it starts off where she's in this dungeon. She's been captured by the current Dark Lord, and the minions are coming in and torturing her. And she ends up getting her fingers bitten off by a snake lady. And then worse things are going to be happening. So she finds something they left behind, and knowing that she is in a time loop and that when she dies she will be reborn, she offs herself before they can do anything worse to her. And then that's where our story picks up. She always wakes up in this pool in the middle of the forest, and this wizard comes along. I think, his name is, let's see, it's like, it starts with a TS. Let me see, it's pretty quick that you, oh yeah, here it goes. So I'm not sure if the T is silent or the S. So it's either Tarragorn or Saragorn. Um, this old wizard guy, kind of crusty, and he normally, when she's trying to take down the Dark Lord, he comes along, he gives her a speech about how he's been waiting for her to come and she's going to save the world. And then she goes off with him. She meets these different sellswords and warriors, and she starts down this journey to try to be with this band that to overthrow the Dark Lord and stop it and save the world. But every single time she tries, they fail. She dies. She's on life number like 238, and she's kind of just sick of it. So she was at one time on our Earth, and somehow she doesn't remember, because all these lives she's lived, it's been like 1,000 years, so she doesn't remember much about her earthly life. but she's stuck in this body. She's like 20. She's got like, she says she's got like a neon pink, um, terrible, like a terribly cut pixie cut. She's kind of soft. She like she's, she says, um, in my last life, she probably lived, 10, 20 years. She was just in really great shape. She could do all these cool things. She was really good at with fighting with a sword and with a bow and arrow, and could do all this cool stuff and was tough. And now she says it's like she just, instead of working out, this body was used to just Netflixing and chilling with some Cheeto Puffs. So she's in a much younger, less athletic body, and she's just sick of getting killed and failing. So she decides she is going to become the Dark Lord herself, because there's been different Dark Lords and she's failed against all of them. So when good old Saragon comes along, he starts to give his spiel and she just murderizes him. She grabs the back of his head and just smashes his face into some rocks. And she says it's very therapeutic because she's heard his speech a million times and it's never comes true. So then she goes off to find some underlings on the other side of the war that she can get to be her minions so she can become the Dark Lord. And hilarity ensues, of course. She is talking, the narrator, she's telling us through this whole thing. It's like we're there with her, like Deadpool. She breaks the fourth wall. She is very vulgar. She has lots of humor, and it's just, it is so much fun. I am loving this. So I'm definitely, even though I didn't finish it last week like I hoped, um, now that I'm getting into it, I'm going to get through this really quick, and then we'll talk about my book for next week when I get to that part. But it's a shorter one, so I think I should be able to get through this and then get back on track going into the last week of June next week. Last week of June, first week of July, next week. But this is amazing. I can't wait to tell you guys more about it in my weekly wrap up, and then even more in my monthly wrap up, and even more in a book review dedicated, because this is awesome and it's probably going to be one of my favorites, unless the rest of the book is completely different, which I don't think it will be. This is gold. Love this book. All right. Then my novella, which has been really good. I'm about halfway through this one. Should finish that up next couple days. Win Among Crows by Veronica Roth. Of course, she wrote the Divergent series. And I need to look up more about this novella and see if it's going to kick off a new series, because I really, really dig this world. So I wasn't sure from the cover if you can see it. But it's about a monster hunter named Dimitri. And I kind of thought it was just set in a fantasy world, but it's actually an urban fantasy, which is pretty cool. I love me some urban fantasy. And it's Eastern European. So far, there's been a lot of Polish stuff with monsters like Strigas and I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget one I never heard of, Zamoris. But anyway, Dimitri starts off. It takes place in Chicago, near Lake Michigan, of course. When I saw Lake Michigan, I was like, oh yeah, I live in Michigan. I live by Lake Michigan. Thought it was going to be in my town, but it was in Chicago, which is still cool. So Dimitri is a monster hunter, and it starts off with him going to this church in the middle of the forest, and there's a guardian there that keeps watch over this golden fern with magical flower, not fern, flower with magical powers. But the only way he can get it is to be worthy, and he has to go through these trials, and you don't know why he's trying to get it. Shows little flashbacks to little Dimitri, monster hunter, talking with his grandma and being trained how to spot monsters in public because they look just like humans. Very cool stuff. And then you find out why he's trying to get the flower. He gets kind of on this quest with a Zamari called Ala. Her name is like Helenski, something like that, Polish name. But she has a curse on her. It's very mysterious, but he knows about it somehow, and he wants to get this flower so he can offer it to her to cure her if she helps him go through the seedy monster world to get to Baba Yaga. but we don't know why yet. So I don't know. It hasn't mentioned his family. Maybe Baba Yaga did something to his family. Maybe he wants to use her powers, but Baba Yaga is trouble. People don't know why he wants to find her, but anyway, it's really good. These characters are cool. The world she created is awesome, and I'm only like 60, 70 pages into this, and I'm already loving it, and I'm bummed that it's a novella. So I really hope she's going to turn this into a series, but we'll talk more about this next week. It is really good. I love novellas. I'm really starting to dig them, and this is a really good one. I have continued reading Heavenbreaker, still loving it, about halfway through. This is one I just read like, 3 to 5 chapters here and there, a chapter a day at least, just slowly working through it. My dabbler. But it's still really good. Still good Red Rising vibes. Awesome story. Really love that one. Sometimes I read a little more when it's like super good. It's always super good, but yeah, this one's good. Can't wait till I finish that one up. Still working through my tome, Empire of the Damned. About halfway through it, and it's so good. It's so good. This is one of my favorite series too. I love you. It's so good. Definitely probably won't finish this month, but maybe this, like, if sometimes I try to just read a certain amount of pages per month to stay on track. This week wasn't great, so I fell behind a little, but the book's so good that sometimes I just read way more. So hopefully I can catch up and finish this this month. But yeah, anyway, I love this book because I was already excited at the new point of view character besides Gabriel that was in it, and now there's another one in it that I just found out, and I'm getting deep into that section now, and it's so good. And I can't say anything because it's a spoiler if you haven't read the first one, but this is really good. Definitely can't wait to talk more about that and do some content on that world and that series. I'm still working through Six Gun. This thing is so heavy. Read another issue, really good, loving it. I'll talk more about it when I finally finish it. I did. I couldn't read as much physically, but I had so many running around, places we had to go, and a lot of yard work and chores around the house, and my dryer broke, and I had to take that apart and fix it, which I'd never done. So of course, into the audiobook, and I've gotten pretty far. Of Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Doing my Cosmere, can't say catch up because that's what Talking Story says. My Cosmere I can't think of anything. But anyway, I'm trying to get caught up before the new book comes out in December. And I have read the first first trilogy of Mistborn Era 1. I'm working through Warbreaker, I almost said Warbreaker, so that I can start Stormlight Archive and hopefully get caught up by December. And then next year I'll be able to read Mistborn Era 2, which I'm excited about. So this is really good. I love this book so far. I'm gonna have to. This is such a pretty cover, cool. Just all his hardcovers are so nice. The artwork's great, but this is about. There's a couple of kingdoms, and there's one kingdom that's led kind of by this dark god, and there's some. They're called returns. The return, like some people that died and came back to life, and the way they stay alive is drinking or drinking people's color or light. Oh shoot, I'm terrible at this. But anyway, there's two princesses. The older has always been kind of bred to be able to be married off to help this kingdom, but then the king doesn't want to send her to this evil god in this terrible place with all these weird things going on. So he sends his younger spunky daughter because he thinks she'll be tougher and be able to survive. But it kind of sucks because it's kind of like he's like, I'll just send her and not my older daughter. And but anyway, yeah, it's really good. I've talked way too long without being prepared, and I'm butchering what this book is about. But anyway, it's really good. I'm enjoying that one. I do want to start reading it physically because it's such a nice hardcover, but it works good on audio. I always like to have an audio book ready to rock and roll. I always like to have some books on my Kindle ready to rock and roll. What did I read on Kindle? Because I do donate plasma, so then I usually just read on my Kindle when I'm doing that. I think, what was I reading the last time I think I've just been trying to finish up Blood and Fire by Ryan Kyle. I'm almost done with that. Also Mushroom Blues, almost done with that. So I've been reading those on my Kindle Fire. Mushroom Blues is really cool. Adrian Gibson, awesome book. Anyway, back to it. So, graphic novels. What have I been reading? So, I finished volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children. This is really cool. There's her mask on the back. Pretty cool stuff. But this is an awesome, awesome graphic novel. I will probably do a review on. I'm not sure how I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a review on like the series once you get caught up, or figure out how to do arcs. I'm not sure how to, or just I guess volumes. I don't know. But this one and the one that I'm going to talk about next, I would like to do reviews on, which would be very similar to my book reviews, only instead of like prose, I'll throw in like artwork, and instead of what else do I have on there that would be different? Probably the rest would kind of be the same. I mean, world building, character work, dialogue is important. Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk about that when it's time. But anyway, Something is Killing Children is really good. Really enjoying it. Again, it's about a monster hunter who is from this group of monster hunters. It's very mysterious. You don't know a lot early on, but she goes to this small Wisconsin town where all these kids are disappearing, and of course, there's a monster that's killing them. And it just is very dark, very gritty, but really, really good, and I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward to reading volume 3 when that comes in from the library. And then the other one I started was, and I think these are both from Boom. Yeah, Boom Studios. They're really one of my favorite current comic companies. They're making really good stuff. This is called Grimm, which is really good. Jessica Harrow Jessica Harrow is a Reaper, and there's a lot of Reapers. Death is actually missing. The Grim Reaper himself, he's missing. Nobody knows where he went. And all these Reapers, they're kind of trained to all go out and do the thing because he can't do it all, but he's missing. There's someone filling in for him, this lady who seems real shady. And of course, she is real shady, doing some good stuff behind the scenes that are not good. But yeah, Jessica, everyone remembers how they died. Jessica does not. She has no idea how she died. And she starts off where she's getting this guy named Brian who just died in a car accident. And I really like that character. He's really funny. And he can't like accept that he died. He had just like went out and like wanted to tell the girl that he loves, that he cares about her, but then he got in an accident and died, and he ends up stealing her scythe and going back to the real world. She has to chase him down so she doesn't get in trouble, but then she ends up being like interacting with a human, which humans shouldn't see them, so it was very weird. And her friends are trying to figure that out. She's got a friend, oh man, I can't remember his name, but he's like a 80s big hair punk rocker type. Let me see. I think his name's Eddie. Let me see if I can find a good picture of him here. Yeah, it's not very well. This is good because then he's talking to Marcel, a really cool, suave Frenchman. There they are, Eddie and Marcel. But anyway, the three of them go. They're helping her try to figure out, how she died, what's missing from her memory, why she can't remember anything, why she could interact with humans. So between the lady in charge, doing shady things behind the scenes, um, Jessica trying to figure out why she can't remember how she died and why people could see her, and then Death missing. Those are kind of all the mysteries working together in this story, and it is really good. It's got cool artwork, and it's a lot of fun. So that is one I am definitely by Stephanie Phillips. Something is Killing the Children is by James Tynion. He did a lot of Batman and DC stuff back in the day, which I liked. I have not read anything by Stephanie Phillips, but I am loving this. So yeah, that was really good. And then for my manga, I read volume 2 of Death Note and volume 2 of Attack on Titan. Loved Attack on Titan. So good. Volume 1 left on such a cliffhanger, and volume 2 picked up right where it left off, and it was awesome. Really, really good stuff. I talked about this before, but there's these big titans that are kind of dumb. They walk around, they're huge, but they humans were killed off by them. Nobody knows where they came from or how they came to be, but they eat people and walk around naked, but they don't really have anything down there. It's just bare. They don't have any clothes on, and humans had to retreat and build this city with like um, big, huge, tall walls, and then there's space, and then another tall wall, like an inner circle to protect them if they ever broke through. And but they're not tall enough to get over this wall. But then one day the massive colossus comes that's towering over top of the wall, way bigger than the other ones, and it busts through, and they get in, and people die, and they're trying to fight them, and they found ways to fight them. If you They use kind of like a oh, what are they called, like a X in the last, which I think I found out, I actually think it's P Hunter, not Phi or Phi. It's P Hunter, which I'm going to do a review on that soon. But uh, he uses one. Man, what are they called? Anyway, I can't remember. But they use these things that they can like shoot into the titans, and then they zip around and kind of fly around, and they can get behind them and slash the back of their neck, to kill them and bring them down. So anyway, it's really good. I'm loving this series. If you haven't checked this one out, which most of you probably have, but if you haven't checked it out or watched the anime, you should. They are both really good. And then I read the second volume of Death Note. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep reading this because it is very interesting. Premise, the world. I like it. But Old Light here, I'm not a big fan of him after this one. Like in the first volume, he gets the Death Note. He's got the funny, creepy um, demon guy with him, and he is using the Death Note only to kill like criminals and really bad people, and he's kind of like a vigilante, and it was really cool. But now he's very self-serving, and in this one he kills some people who aren't bad to protect himself, and I don't like that. Maybe there's some things that happen or some reveal that kind of takes some of the blame off him, or maybe this is a villain story. So I don't know. We'll see. It's very interesting. It's very dramatic and tension filled, but yeah, that was not cool. Light. This is actually not Light. This is L. Very smart. He's not really. I guess he's a detective. I don't know. He's helping the FBI try to find Kira, who the killer name that Light goes by. But anyway, it's still really good. Definitely gonna continue it. But yeah, I was bummed because I thought Light was cool in the first one, little vigilante. Now he's kind of a little turd face. So, but I will continue with that. But I'll probably take a break from it for a little bit. All right, so that was what I read for this past week. What was my favorite read of the week? Well, I read all really awesome stuff, but like I said, this is probably going to be a new favorite. So my favorite read of the week has been How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. So good, so good. Cannot wait to finish this and give you my thoughts and talk more about it. All right, so what am I going to read next week. So I'm going to finish How to Become the Dark Lord or Die Trying. I am going to finish Win Among Crows by Veronica Roth. Priority 1 and 2, 1A and 1B. Then I'm going to keep working on Empire of the Damned because the end of June is coming up quick and I want to finish this and Warbreaker on audio so that I can start Way of Kings, but we'll see. And I'm going to keep working through my Dabbler, Heavenbreaker. So that's what I'm going to do there. But then, once I finish How to Become the Dark Lord or Die Trying, I'm going to read Dreadful by Caitlin Rizakis. This one is only, yeah, it's not even yeah, it is 300 pages. So just yeah, just like 340. So pretty short, um, fun read. So gonna read this one after that. Should be able to get both of those in this week. And then once I finish Win Among Crows, I'm going to focus on just no more novellas till I finish this bad boy because I bought this day one and I've been really wanting to read it, but I was waiting till I read Win Among Crows. So this is going to be in my novella spot for the rest of the month and into next month if I don't finish it. But I love Stephen King. Haven't read anything of his for a while, so I'm looking forward to reading this for sure. And then graphic novel wise, I am gonna finally get to Doombreaker. Again, this is like a time loop. Well, not really a time loop, time travel, where our main character is up against evil lord and his army. He dies, and somehow he gets sent back in time to 10 years before all this terrible stuff happened, and he's gonna try to stop it from happening. Has really sweet artwork, very anime-ish, but looks like a lot of fun. It's from Webtoon, which I love Webtoon, where you can read free comics and manhwa. Excited about that one. Then I'm going to go return to Descender with Volume 2. I read Volume 1 earlier in the month and really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to continuing that story. And then my manga, I'm finally going to get back to One Piece, read Volume 2, see what's going on. Continue Tokyo Ghoul, Volume 2. Because I really liked Volume 1. And then I'm going to start this one I've really been looking forward to, Sakamoto Days. I actually got the first couple volumes of this from the library. Gonna read this. I'm really excited about this one. I think this one's going to be an all-time fave. So can't wait for that. Alright, so that is what I am going to read. What I've been watching, let's talk about that. I have been watching The Boys. I'm through the first 4 episodes. Loving the show. It's so good. You know, as a show goes on, there's going to be people that get soured on it and say it's not as good as it used to be and blah blah blah, and they find the politics in it and stuff like that. But The Boys comic, just like The Boys show, kind of pokes fun at a lot of things and doesn't take itself too serious. But man, like in this season, it's really good. Very tension filled. There's a lot going on, and they've cranked up the gore, and Homelander is crazy and terrifying. He's like a horror movie monster himself. So anyway, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. If you haven't checked it out, you should watch from the start. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't watched it yet, but you want to, but you're waiting for some reason, go ahead and read the graphic novels first by Garth Ennis, because the inspiration for it, those are really good. And the story in the show goes a different direction and changes quite a few things. Same characters, but different things are different. So it's kind of cool to do both, or watch the show and then go back and read it, whatever you want to do. And also, I've been watching House of the Dragon. Ooh, it is so good. I am really enjoying that. That has been awesome so far. I know a lot of you probably love it too, but man, that is good. Probably, I mean, I love The Boys, but House of the Dragon is just so good. I love the first season, and so far the second season has not disappointed. I am enjoying it as well. So, yeah, those are the 2 big things I watched. no movies or anything. I am excited for in July. Me and my son are gonna go see the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie. We both love Deadpool and Wolverine. We love superheroes. Um, and one of my friends that we usually go to see the movie with, because he has all little girls, he doesn't have any sons or any other friends to go watch it with, so we like to do that together. I think we're going to head to the east side of the state because there is a new theater with one of the 270-degree screens that makes the movie look like it's around you. After you watch this video, go look up 270-degree movie screens. I'm going to go and watch that movie on that, and it's going to be awesome. So look forward to me talking about that later in the summer, but it's still only June. I don't want the summer to go by that fast. So let's talk about the channel. So last week I did a Father's Day top 5 best and worst dads in fantasy. That one was a fun one to make. I did my weekly wrap up, my monthly wrap up for May. I did a book haul for May where I had way too many books. I did, what else did I do? I did a lot of shorts. I did some unboxings, did a couple book reviews for Howling Dark and for Witch of Sin, which I just got in. But I had read it on ebook when it first came out. That's a beautiful edition. If you haven't watched my unboxing, I can reach it from here. I mean, look at this thing. It's stunning. I love the spine and the pink sprayed edges, and it's very hefty. It feels just glorious in the hands, but beautiful naked hardcover. The end papers are cool. Can't show you the front one. It's got a little sketch on it that wouldn't be good for me to show. Love that. Neon Ghost is the name of the series. Just a, like, look at that. Look at that. Signed by Daniel Green. But beautiful book. I really love it. I just have been looking through it. And I really enjoyed that book a lot. As you could tell from my review, it was a full beard book. But his chapter headings are really cool. Anyway, it was just an awesome edition. I was really glad I was able to support that Kickstarter and get that in. It's my first. I've supported a bunch of Kickstarters, and that was my first one. Yeah, my first one that I've gotten. Came with this cool pen too, and these sweet bookmarks. Very like the metallic ones that are real heavy duty, and then signed. Very cool. Anyway, oh, what other videos did I do? I did, I guess, yeah, 'cause today's a new day of the week, so I did do I ranked the first law books, the tier video, yes, I did my first tier ranking, which was awesome, and talking about First Law and Red Rising and all these books that I read that I loved. I really wanted to do a First Law ranking of all the books, so that was fun. Look for a Red Rising one coming soon. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So it was a great week. I don't have a ton of subscribers yet, but that's okay because I'm just having fun making videos and making content. And I know the views and the subscribers will come if I just keep at it and keep being me and keep having fun. And we're just full steam ahead. So yeah, that is my weekly wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a great week. Tell me what you read last week and maybe what your favorite read of the week was. If you've read any of this, tell me about that, or just say hello if that's what you want to do. Please like and subscribe, helps the channel grow. Reach out to me on social media. You can find that in the description below. And until I see you next time, be brave, be beautiful to one another. Dang it. Be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly.